today we're going to make it quick and swift, smooth. But I'm going to give you some thick and girthy value. This one tip that's going to change the way you see reality and the way that you move through the jungle of distractions and bullshit that prevents you from reaching your truest and greatest potential. And the reason why I feel like this little principle is so overlooked is because of media and just in general the environments that we've created for ourselves. But I kid you not, the systems that we have today are outdated. The systems that we have are not conducive to our most optimal performance in whatever field you want to perform in. It doesn't matter. But let's get to it, because this is why this is so important. The thing is, like, our worlds are so complex that we want to use this strategy, that strategy, and they're all super complex, and you require like all these action steps and all these things. And like, don't get me wrong, taking action is fucking badass. Like, if you're taking action, my respect goes out to you, man, because like that's better than some people these days. And if you're taking action, you're just that like one step closer than most people, than 99% of people, to making an actual difference in the world, to making a better earth for not just yourself but everyone in your range of like swing. your range of swing. And you want to swing for the fences, right? So beyond the fences. Anyways, so this one tip that I'm gonna give you has to do with the way that we structure our realities based on the questions that we ask ourselves. Because often, if you're a badass, you're taking action, maybe if you just started to take action and put yourself in that path towards mastery, you've come across failure one way or another. No matter how far into your mastery you are of your craft, your skill, whatever it is, you are still going to fail. Alexander the Great himself used to say that it was sex and sleep that reminded him that he was human. Because even the greatest of us are still subject to this physical form. Unless you know certain secrets, maybe, about reality, unless you know certain practices that cultivate the groundwork for a transformational and transcendental experience that unwinds and blossoms the reality of your boundlessness. But otherwise, you have to keep it simple, because reality is not that complicated. It is cause and effect for the most part. And yeah, some processes are complex, but when it comes down to failure and embracing failure, there are two different paths that most people generally go down to. They start to ask themselves why questions, and some people ask themselves how questions. Now, let's look at both and see what kind of person asks the why questions for the most part, and what kind of person asks the how questions. So when you fail, a why person would be like, oh, why did this happen? Why did this happen to me? Why does this always happen? Why did this just happen to be the time when I put my most effort, when I killed myself on the grind, on whatever it is, you know? Why? Now put that aside, and now look at the person who asked the how question. You just failed at something. You're put your effort into something, boom, you crashed. And how? How did this happen? How can I make it better? How can I invest in myself so that I can grow my skills and next time kill it at this thing? How could I look at this in a way that is inspiring so that I inspire myself, and in that way I'm not relying on others, and I move forward and I fucking keep killing it? Now, take these two questions, very simple, change from why to how. And think about it. What kind of person is this person going to be if they keep asking themselves why questions? And what kind of person is this person going to be if they ask how questions? I think this is what it's called, a rhetorical question, because it's pretty obvious, and most people will see the obviousness in it, because one mentality is stagnant and one is in motion. It's flowing. It's like nature. It's like the universe in constant motion, constant flux. It doesn't get stuck in one thing and just stay there, basically, and maybe even like regress into something worse, because that's what happens when you stagnate. The seas breathes, whatever, you know, more failure, because you're not keeping on going, you're not taking more action so that you learn, you get the reference experience that you require in order to build that memory, that image that allows you of success, that allows you to bring more of it into your life. So, which person are you going to choose to be? Are you going to keep asking yourselves why questions? Or are you going to start asking yourself more how questions? How can I make this work? How can I look at this in a more positive perspective? How? And I mean, if you're watching this, you probably already know which kind of person you are. And if not, you have a choice. Because now, every time that you fail at something, notice what kind of question you're asking yourself. And be willing to fucking take action. And if you're asking yourself a why question, you say, fuck that shit. How? How? And how? And you'll start to notice your whole fucking reality is going to change.